Hello everyone, welcome back to our discussion on the international laws, and into that we are discussing the public international law. If we summarize our previous session, then we had discussed what exactly the international law means, then we had been through the branches of international law, and into that we had seen what exactly the public international law means and what it includes in detail. In today's session, we exactly going to discuss about the nature of international law, what exactly it is. Then we all are very much clear that law exists because of society and society is because of law. So law is to regulate the interactions amongst the members of the society, and hereby whenever we are talking about the international law, this society becomes the society of a nations, society of a states, or society of a particular institutions that are having the international domain. It can be anything that touches the aspects of such particular interaction relations of those particular countries. Then it can be of any nature. Here by nature means what? Then let's go through the definition of the jurist. The first jurist we are going to look is the Oppenheim. Oppenheim has defined international law as law of nations in the name of the body of customary and conventional rules which are considered binding by civilized states in their intercourse with each other. Too difficult, huh? Yes, actually. But if we get this into a part, then we are having two major parts. The first part of the definition of the Oppenheim was it's customary and conventional rules, and the second part is civilized states. Now, how these two parts are connected? According to Oppenheim, he observed that whatever we are talking in as a framework of law, rules, regulation, all this because we had seen such. That means it is having traditional or customary value. Do you really feel that before 19th or 18th century we don't have any international connections? Definitely not. We do have it. It is since ages we do have. And what exactly we do today also, we do something because we had seen such customs, traditions like that. So according to Oppenheim, this was the probably the first definition in a written manner we do have. That Oppenheim says that law of this particular nations means the customary and conventional rules which they used to follow now with the modern with the civilized society. Now what exactly the civilized society means? Civilized states, we all are very much aware about the meaning of the civilized state that we had been through the constitutional law. Constitution is clearly defining the civilized states, and the same is being accepted by the Oppenheim. So the first definition was by Oppenheim, who defines international law as law of nations which is based on the customary and conventional rules, as well as it includes or being having a binding impact on the civilized states. Then the second definition comes from the Hall. Don't worry, it's not. I'm not going to read this much bigger one. Reason being, as if you can recollect the Oppenheim, then Hall will be easier for you to remember. Oppenheim values the traditional and conventional values, whereas Hall says that it's not just about the traditional and conventional value, it's all about modern civilized states. Where modern civilized states ready to accept, that is the binding nature. That is the second element being added by Hall. According to Hall, whatever Oppenheim says is correct. With that, he wants to add on two more words, and that those two words are, the first one is modern civilized countries, that is nations, and the second one is say that they are ready to accept it as a binding one. That means they are ready to keep it as a functional one. That's keep it as a ruling one. If no one if any either of the party is not complying with, then they can be asked for to do so, or they can be punished for. The third definition was given by Cecil Hurst. What he said whatever Oppenheim said, whatever Hall said is very much correct, but I want to add on two more things. And those two more things were aggregate of rules which determines the rights of particular nation, those who are entering into treaties. So it's the rights of the particular nation along with responsibilities. According to Cecil Hurst, Oppenheim and Hole's view is very much correct, but he want to add on two more things, that is regarding the defining rights and responsibilities of a particular nation in their mutual intercourse with each other. So if we can summarize this definition, then as per this definitions, international law is a set of rules and regulation which governs the relationship between two countries or a group of countries, and it also gives rise to binding nature along with rights and responsibilities. All this definition, if you get it into a past, it will be easier for you to remember. So in nutshell, we can summarize it like international law is a set of rules and regulations similar to living laws. Means what? Living laws are those laws which we can alter, we can modify according to our own need. Like if we talk about the international perspective only, just remember, just recollect how our trades were in ancient time, how it is right now. We are in earlier days we had commerce, right now we are having e-commerce. So what we are doing is we are incorporating that within our the current laws. The same is with the international law. For discussing more on the international law, we shall be connecting through our next session. Till then, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.